What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day of the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30NSG, and on today's show, we got a couple of stories. We got key games for the first quarter in numbers, major releases in terms of revenue, sales, and other metrics, so we'll talk about that. We're going to talk about Xbox CEO Phil Spencer celebrates Xbox Cloud Gaming's dramatic growth, and now with per-device usage charts. We'll talk about that as well. We're going to talk about renting video game consoles is so back. And then we're also going to talk about digital-only console sales numbers are bad news for physical media. These are just a few of the top stories that we're talking about this morning. It's been a hell of a week for us here over on my side of the camera. We had our house in a disaster zone for the last 4 days. So we had electricians come in. We had to rewire our house. Our house was built in 1946, I think, 47, 46, I think it is. And so we finally got it, rewired so it's updated. There's no more knob and tube. If you guys don't know what knob and tube is, it's aluminum wiring wrapped in cloth. Okay, so we got that all fixed, and now we're in a modern house. Okay, we actually have modern day technology in our house now. So that's where we've been this last week. We've been spotty, we've been doing some video games and whatnot in the evenings. If you like watching video games, we do have a channel called 30 and Still Gaming, which is just for video games. We stream there live, which is our other channel here on YouTube. If you're on Twitch and you like watching games on Twitch, we're back over on Twitch as well on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, and anytime I play a video game. So we're playing games over there on Twitch and YouTube simultaneously on 30 and Still Gaming. Same name over on Twitch. We just came back for our anniversary. What the hell was it? What was it, Eclipse? I didn't even know. We got partnered or whatever. Right, so many years ago, it was our anniversary yesterday over on Twitch. So we came back right before that. That wasn't planned at all in any way, shape, or form. So if you like it better over there, follow us over there. Use your Prime sub over there if you want. If not, use it on somebody. Affiliate, thank you. The affiliate anniversary. So we're in many places. Tonight, Generation X Gaming weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. Join me and Sarge this evening, and special guest Kingard will be on the show this evening. So it'll be three of us going topic over topic this evening on GXG. So make sure you show up for that at 8 p.m. this evening. How's everyone doing? What's going on, chat? Let me see who's all in chat here. What's going on, Robert Jones, Argus, Travis, Kylo, Big Mo, Water Bear, Jason Marshall, Eclipse, Nate Dizzle, what's going on? Sarge, what's going on? Who am I missing? Am I missing anybody? I'm scrolling. Hilly, good morning. Nice to see you, Hilly. Hilly, I've been playing RuneScape Dragon Wilds. I'm actually really enjoying it. So we're on for Tuesday, if you want to do Tuesday next week. So after our morning stream, I'll take a half-hour break, and we'll start at a little bit before 1 o'clock, and me and Hilly will be playing some Dragon Wilds, RuneScape Dragon Wilds on Tuesdays from 1 to 3, all right? So there you go. So me and Hilly will be diving in there together. What's going on, House? What's going on, Ron Slusher? We're going to be diving in. And let me tell you, I that dragon's an asshole. Can I say that? I can say that, right? He's an asshole. I mean, I don't care about saying asshole. I'm just saying, maybe the dragon will get offended. Okay. Yeah, we're doing Borderlands on Wednesdays. Yeah, Borderlands on Wednesday with shooting the shit with Sarge. Yeah, that dragon's an asshole. You're either getting attacked by the dragon, or you're getting attacked by the raids, or you're getting attacked by the other stuff. I watched a video and someone said, hey, if you don't want to get attacked by the dragon, make your base in the first zone, in the level 1 zone, right across the bridge. You don't get raided. You don't get dragon attacked. I was like, I think that's where I'm going to move my shit. Waterbear says the dragon's He's going to kick your ass, 30. He's stalking you right now. I think I hear him. Travis says, dragon is what the French call l'asshole. L'asshole. Lay. It's lay asshole. I need to move the house. Yeah, go to section 1. It's such a frustrating thing. I just upgraded my weapons, and we just got a upgraded weapon, so now we can actually make not bone, iron. We can actually make iron stuff now in my game. It'll be much better. I don't know if you've been playing with someone or if you've been playing by yourself, Hilly, but man, if you have someone else and we're working together clearing the dungeons and stuff, that'd be much, much better. So looking forward to it. So if you guys like that, tune in on Tuesdays afternoons after this show. On Tuesdays, we'll be playing over on 30 and Still Gaming on Twitch and YouTube for a couple hours. Nate says, the combat in Expedition 33, the combat is way more fun than the regular turn-based. Would have to play for yourself. We're going to try it out. I don't know if I'm going to try it out. We might have a stream on Friday because I'm trying to make up for some stuff. I'm going to try to make up for some stuff that we missed this week. So we might do a stream on Friday, but I have family in town, so probably not. Maybe this weekend. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So many games to play. I know this is not me bitching about, there's just so many games to play. But, like, since we haven't streamed in the mornings, I don't know if you know this. Of course, everyone knows. Everyone here knows it, okay? Oblivion came out on Tuesday, okay? They had an announcement trailer, showed the game, and then went, mic drop, it's releasing today, and everyone lost their mind. Everyone lost their mind collectively. The people that were excited for Oblivion coming out, people lost their mind. People that were upset that people make fun of remasters over on PlayStation, and people are like, oh, what, you can make fun of remasters on PlayStation, but you're okay with this remaster? Yes, assholes, because this is a 19-year-old remaster, not a 5-day-old remaster. You see what I'm saying? Like, you just remastered your game and then remastered it twice and then remastered it the other one, right? And it's like 5 years old. Meanwhile, this is almost 20 years old, and they remastered it, so that's why people are losing their shit, right? There's a couple of people that are purists, right? They're like, I don't like you messing with my Oblivion. No one messed with your Oblivion. Your Oblivion's still on the 360. You can go still play that Oblivion, all right? If you want to get an updated version, which we have about 8 hours in the game right now, it is beautiful. It is so good. They brought it up to Skyrim level as far as graphics goes, okay? Very interesting how they kind of like merged the two kind of engines together. They used the Unreal Engine. They said in the trailer or the announcement doc that they had like the brains and the body. So like the body is the Unreal Engine, but the brains is not the Creation Engine. What's the other thing they said? I forget what the other one, what it's called. Anyway, they merged them together to make what you got here. And it's fantastic. I'm getting sidetracked. We were making fun of it yesterday in Discord. It's like, I'm the squirrel. I'm like, squirrel, right? Like, I'm like, I need to do this mission. I'm like, walking around, doing my mission. And then all of a sudden I'm like, what's that over there? Oh, that's a cave. And then I'm 20 minutes in a cave. Completely forgot what I was doing. Then I get out of the cave and then I'm like, oh, what's this? And I start going somewhere else. I'm never going to get anything done in that game. Never going to get anything done in that game. Yeah, what? Did you know Oblivion came out on Tuesday? Yeah, that surprise, right? And look, here, let me just look this up real fast. Let's see. Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remaster. Okay. Now, this is impressive. Okay. Now, I get it, right? People are like, don't look at metrics because it doesn't say if it sells good or not. Look. Assassin's Creed Shadows came out onto Steam, and it sold a whopping 64,000 concurrent players. It sold more than that, obviously, but 64,000, a little bit over 64,000 people were playing the game. Here is a 19-year-old, let me repeat that, 19 years old. Some of you were in diapers, okay, when this game came out. Maybe first grade. Right? The rest of you were in your 20s, okay? But we have, right? We have 190,000 all-time peak 13 hours ago. There's 103. Let me refresh it. We have 105,000 people playing this game right now. Right now. Right? A 19-year-old game. More people are playing right now than the entirety of AC Shadows concurrently that were on Steam. Okay. Now people are like, well, it doesn't mean the sales are good because it's on Game Pass. And I totally get it. I didn't buy it. I'm playing on Game Pass, DLCs and all, right? I'm eating good. I'm like, I'm a gamer, right? I have Game Pass. I'm like, well, I'm playing Blueprints and Adam Fall and Borderlands 3 and whatever else I'm playing. I played Avowed. Now we're playing Oblivion. And then someone's going to say like, well, you're not paying for your games because you're a brokey. Okay, cool. I'm a brokey, but I also have $500 in my pocket because I've only spent $20 a month for the last 4 months, and I have $500 that I can go spend on anything else. So, I don't know what to tell you. Because at the end of the day, you don't own your game, and I don't own my game, and that's just the way it is. And we'll talk about physical and digital in just a second. All right, let's see. Argus says, people have been talking about Oblivion since I started gaming in general, and I never got to play it. This is it's in its prime. Now I have the opportunity to play it and enjoy it. It's a remaster that was needed. Yes, and we've had this conversation in the past, Argus. We talked about when they made the other remasters. I was like, remasters shouldn't come out minimum 10 years. Minimum 10 years. Okay? If you're remastering something, and Skyrim, right? Bethesda's guilty of this. When you're remaking a game and re-releasing a game every like 3 years, no thank you, right? 19 years old. Like, if they came out with New Vegas remastered or Fallout 3, which is rumored, okay, remastered, or if they came out with Morrowind remaster, yes, please. Yes, please. Like, as a kid, we played games that were awesome. Awesome. Okay, graphically, it doesn't matter what they were graphically. They were just amazing back then because of the actual gameplay. Make a game, sell a game. Now they have the actual graphical updates, and they didn't just change. I don't even know if you would call this a remaster, I'll be honest with you. All right? Oblivion's like a remake from the ground up. They completely changed stuff. New voice lines, new combat, sprinting, right? There's a whole bunch of stuff they've done. I wouldn't even call this a remaster. I would call it a remake, and it's $50. $50. Meanwhile, Crazy Uncle Nintendo. Crazy Uncle Nintendo over here is charging $80 and $90 for their games, $70 for a game that came out 7 years ago. It's amazing. Crowded House says, is Borderlands 3 as cringe as people say? The story? Yes. Gameplay? Fun as hell. It's fun. I have a gun I got last night. I'm just obliterating everything. I got a shotgun just melting everything. Right? Borderlands 3 is fun, but leave it to 2K and leave it to Randy Pitchford to fuck up something, because right now there's a storm brewing. Okay, leading up to Borderlands 4, and all I'll say is, okay, they changed the terms of service. Okay, they changed the terms of service. We might talk about it a little bit on GXG tonight, might not, but I'm just going to put that out there for you. Okay? They changed the terms of service. Okay. All right, let's see what else. Gaming Fire, what's going on? Jason Marshall says $114 Canadian for Tears of the Kingdom is hilarious. Or you can get Oblivion remastered. What's going on, El Nini? All right, let's start off with the first story, which which I haven't read any of these stories. As you know, these are the rules of the daily grind, okay? You guys post stuff inside. I post stuff. You post stuff inside. I see the headline, and I'm like, you know what? That looks interesting, and I throw it into the submitted stories in our Discord. If you want to be part of our Discord, everyone can join. Member, not member, doesn't matter. You get more stuff out of the Discord if you are a member, okay? If you're not a member, you can still join. You're part of the general. You can still submit stories and give me feedback and stuff like that. So make sure you join our Discord, okay? We have a nice little small community here. It's very nice, okay? So you can either be one of those nice people or not, whatever, okay? But join our Discord, okay? You guys submit the stories, and then I just read the stories on the Daily Grind, and then at the end of the week, at the end of our week, GXG, we talk about the top stories from the past week. This, we talk about the daily stories that come out. So every day, there's new stories being submitted. I give you my thoughts and opinions based on the article itself. It's not based on other people's opinions. It's not based on other people's videos that they created, because most of the time, we're usually ahead of the curve because we're breaking news like right now, right? Now, obviously, we haven't been on the show Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So stories might have came out that you guys have already listened, but most of the time, we're usually we got our thumb on the pulse. You know what I mean? So, all right. First story. Key games, and this comes from App2Top. Okay, App2Top. Key games of the first quarter in numbers. Major releases in terms of revenue, sales, MAU, and other metrics. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Again, I just read the articles, give you my thoughts and opinions, and then we go to chat, and we get your thoughts and opinions, and I go back and forth with you guys. Okay, it's not a debate, it's just a conversation. Just a conversation. Okay, so which games released this first 3 months of 2025 turned out to be the most successful? We have prepared an extensive analysis based on sales charts from various countries, platforms, insights, analysts, analytic companies, and Newzoo, as well as official data from developers and publishers. Okay, so what did we rely on? Steam. A weekly chart for the most successful products of Valve platform updated every Tuesday. Games are ranked by gross revenue, not copies sold, over the past 7 days. Other open Steam data, such as peak concurrent user numbers for specific titles, were also used. In the GfK consoles, a weekly chart from the UK retail sales are based on the sales physical copies of the games and the country. Okay, so this is just showing you where they're getting all their stuff. Okay, all right. So Monster Hunter Wilds is the main release of 2025 so far. By the end of the first quarter, Monster Hunter Wilds, released on February 28th, merged as the undisputed leader across all key metrics. Capcom's own data primarily supports this. In the first 3 days, it managed to sell 8 million copies. Now, mind you, they're coming out and actually sharing actual data. Okay, they came out and said, we sold 8 million copies in 3 days. Assassin's Creed Shadows had 3 million people in 7 days. People, players, this is sales, 8 million copies sold to 3 million players played, okay? So the global success of Wilds is also demonstrated by external sources, okay? It's the 5th best concurrent user count amongst all games in the history of Steam. In the history of Steam, okay? At its peak, over 1.3 million people were playing Wilds simultaneously, surpassing the number of such hits as Cyberpunk 2077, which is at 1 million, Elden Ring, which is at 953,000, okay, Hogwarts Legacy at 879,000, and Baldur's Gate 3 at 875,000. But some people will tell you that Monster Hunter Wilds is not successful. I don't know who those people are, okay? The game has also Steam bestseller charts for 17 consecutive weeks. How's that possible? We haven't even been around for 17 weeks, right? That doesn't make any sense. The game has been in the Steam. Oh, it's been in Steam's bestseller for 17 consecutive weeks because of pre-orders and stuff like that. Got it. The last time I left the top 100 was the week ending in December 3rd of 2024. Now, Wild has spent 10 of the 13 weeks of 2025 in the top 10 highest grossing Steam titles after its release. It's also topped the charts for paid and free play products, briefly dethroning Counter-Strike 2. VG Insights estimates Wild's gross revenue is $363.5 million. Steam only, okay? Just Steam only. The gross revenue is $363.5 million. Just Steam only. That's basically the budget for Assassin's Creed Shadows, by the way. That's the budget of Assassin's Creed Shadows, which they made back just on Steam. Monster Hunter Wilds has. Okay, here's the charts. 25 released with the top 10 most appearances on Steam's weekly global top sellers. If you guys can't see it, let me zoom in a little bit more so you guys can see this. Monster Hunter Wilds. Okay, then Sid Meier's Civilization, then Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, then Repo, then Split Fiction, then Fragpunk, then Assassin's Creed, then Avowed. Okay, and Avowed and Assassin's Creed, just saying, pretty similar. Okay, Dynasty Warriors Origins and Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Okay, so there you go. That's the top on Steam weekly top sell charts. Okay. Now we go down. Top 10 releases of 2025 by weeks spent on the top 10 weekly. So there you go. We can skip that. And we go down to... Is this still Monster Hunter? Okay. Now, the triumph of Kingdom Come issues, the Civilization 7, okay, and controversial launch of Avowed. February turned out to be the most bountiful month for the major new release. Okay, it all began with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which was released on February 4th. Below are for some key data points about the worldwide success. Okay, 1 million copies sold in a single day. Again, let's compare this to the game that everyone was talking about, Assassin's Creed Shadows. Okay, they sold 1 million in a day, but Assassin's Creed had 1 million players. Do you see the difference? You see the difference? Okay, so for comparison, the first part crossed the mark only a week after it launched. 2 million copies sold in less than 2 weeks. Okay, the original Kingdom Come Deliverance took a year to achieve this. So Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 hit its bar of Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 and then raised the bar up, and they sold 2 million copies in 2 weeks, which took them 1 year for Kingdom Come Deliverance 1. Okay, including pre-orders, and the game has also been in the top 100 of Steam charts for 13 weeks in a row. At release, it was also topped the weekly chart amongst premium and free-to-play titles. Only 2 new releases in 2025 can boast a similar achievement: Monster Hunter Wilds and the indie hit Schedule 1. Okay, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 peak concurrent user count on Steam exceeded 256,000. Okay, current players. The 5th best results this year, and the record figured for publisher Deep Silver. So there you go. Monster Hunter Wilds, right? Then we have Schedule 1, Repo, Split Fiction, and Kingdom Come Deliverance ahead of Fragpunk, way ahead of Inzo, which is ahead of Sid Meier's, which is ahead of Dynasty Warriors, which is ahead of Assassin's Creed. Okay, so the top 10 new releases of first quarter. Okay, is that it? They don't tell anything else, because this is a different article here. Yeah, here you go. Well, let's scroll down to this one. Assassin's Creed Shadows is the best-selling game of March and the second best-selling game for the entire year. Just don't look at this part right here. Right? Don't look at this part right here. Just stop at entire year. Okay? Second best-selling game for the entire year in the United States. Right? Only in the United States. Okay? Again, one of these things, you guys ever watch Sesame Street when you were a kid? You probably did. You know? One of these things is not like the other. Okay? One of these things is not like the other. One is boasting about their sales, and one of them is boasting about player numbers. Okay? One of them is truthful, and one of them is deceitful. You be the judge of that. You be the judge, right? This is not saying the quality of the game. This is not saying anything else. Okay? I'm just letting you know. One is telling the truth, and one is being decisive. Divisive? Decisive. No, it is decisive. What's going on, Roadkill? Roadkill says, well, I didn't get no goddamn Nintendo, boys. It's all right. It's all right. All right. Let's go to chat. And what do you guys think, okay, of the best-selling games so far, or the top-selling games of the I think this chart says it the best. Again, this is just Steam. This is just Steam, right? Just Steam. I think this chart says it all. Okay. If Assassin's Creed is successful, okay, on Steam, then Avowed is also successful on Steam, right? Some people will tell you that Avowed is not successful, but they'll say Assassin's Creed is successful. But they look pretty goddamn similar. They look pretty damn similar since they're both at the 2 million mark. Okay. But I don't know. you guys tell me what you guys think. Okay. 8 million copies sold. 8 million in one day. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in chat. Eclipse says, but Assassin's Creed did so good, even though it cost probably $200 or more million than Avowed. Right. Well, that's another thing, right? If you go back to this, let's go back to this chart for a second, right? Let's go back to this chart for a second, right? This game cost 300. Some people say about $400 million. $400 million for Assassin's Creed. Okay, for Assassin's Creed. Avowed is probably under 150 million. Again, we don't know. Just what people have talked about. Okay. If they sold the same amount, one is successful and one isn't successful. Okay. And the successful one is not Assassin's Creed Shadows. But who knows? Hilly says, I think I'll pick up Kingdom Come Deliverance soon. I played the first one when it was on Game Pass for a bit. It didn't click with me. It was very brutal as far as like learning the stuff, which I didn't hate. It just didn't have the time to put into it. Now, I hear Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a much better, much more friendlier version of the two. And it's a game that I probably, if I wasn't a streamer, I would dive into like today. But because I stream and we're constantly have to move with the times and the things, it's hard to get into a game like that. Again, we did Avowed. It took us 2 months to do Avowed, almost 3 months to do Avowed. All right, we're playing Oblivion now, which will probably take another 3 months to complete or whatnot. Argus says, all these people touting AC Shadows has an amazing game, is doing so well, and everyone's talking shit about Avowed, yet they're performing the same. Do you see the sway? Do you see the sway, Argus? Yeah, Monster Hunter is a smash hit. Smash hit. I did not know, I did not know that it beat the other numbers, right? The 5th best concurrent user count of all time. I didn't know that. So that's new. That's new information to me, right? So the 5th best Steam game of all time at 1.3 million people playing Wilds. That's wild. Was Assassin's Creed Shadows good? The conversation I'm having about Assassin's Creed Shadows, El Nini, has nothing to do if the game is good or bad. It has to do with everything about the way people report it and tell you that it's being successful, right? I can't tell you if it's good or bad. Didn't play it. But I can tell you if it was successful. And based on the metrics, doesn't look like it. Now, does that mean it can't be successful in the distance? No, it can, right? If it stays out, like for instance, right, Kingdom Come Deliverance sold 2 million copies in 1 year, but Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 sold 2 million copies in 2 weeks. Okay. Obviously, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a very successful game, but the point is it sold more copies over the length of its lifespan. So will AC Shadows make its money back? Probably. It's an AC game, right? But is it successful right now when it comes out? The answer would be no. Can it be successful down the road? And then we look at this like 3 years from now and go, oh, AC Shadows made its money back. But it took a long time to make its money back. Danny Owen says, I don't know. Steam is not the be-all, end-all. It's important, but it's Capcom says they sold more on PC. Well, we're not talking about total sales. We're just talking about Steam. And if they sold, actually not even sold, but they peaked at 1.3 million and they sold, they made out 63.5 million. How much did the game sell for? Was it $70? Right? We'll say $70. They sold 5.2 million copies just on Steam, which means they sold the other 5 million copies on console. Right? Because that's how math works, right? If we could figure out for this number, then we know what the other number is because they told us this number. Right? So, yes, you're right. Steam is not the one-all be-all. But because they shared the numbers and how many copies they sold overall, which is over 10 million copies, and they told us the number that they made just on Steam, then we know they sold 5.2 million copies on Steam, and then we know that they sold the additional 4.8 million copies on console. Which just on console, they sold at least 2 times what AC Shadows sold. Altern says AC Shadows is the best-selling AC game on a Tuesday, on a sunny day, on the East Coast when there's no traffic on the highway. I mean, these are facts. I think these are facts. We can go with this as facts, right? Argus says AC Shadows is neither very good nor very bad. It's about a 7 out of 10. An average, maybe. I wouldn't say average. It's good. Average is 5. 7 is good, right? But playing the game itself could be good, but the sales, not so good. Not so good. El Nini says the last AC game I played was on the 360. The last one I played was on the 1. Was on the 1. Unless you got the ultimate, which is $100. Sure, but we'll just say the average was 70, right? The 0.2 or 200,000 that's left over on the 5.2, we'll say that's the people that paid extra money. That's the extra money they got. They made $363.5 million. That's the number that they said for Steam only. See, the difference is they're sharing numbers, what they did on Steam. The other company is not. Why? Again, it's none of our business. But when they share it and one doesn't, you got to look at it. When you have data points in different places and you can solve for X, you know one's successful and one isn't. Sarge says the stock price tells the story. If it was successful, the price would have shown. So all this talk is just smoke up your ass. That's right. Travis says 30 is crazy to me. I thought you said 30 is crazy. I am crazy. 30 is crazy to me, but some people don't understand why. What's going on, Kuda Papa? Oh, up. There it is. Kuda Papa says, can't do Lords of Fallen. It's got too much built-in lag. Hit the attack button, and it takes 0.25 to 0.5 of a second for it to do anything. Oh, is there massive lag on the PC, or is that just overall? Hilly says, I have 2 AC games in my Steam backlog, and one of them is the Xbox backlog. I don't need the 4th. At this moment, count AC games as part of my retirement plan. Yeah. You'd be like, I can't wait till I hit that retirement age. I'm just going to sit there and play AC Black Flag. And by that time, Hilly, you'd be like, I'm going to put it on my backlog. It's going to be on your retirement backlog. It's going to get pushed over. And why is that? There's games like that where, like, for instance, we were about to play other games, and now all of a sudden Oblivion came in, a game that I didn't think I was going to play, right? Because I didn't think it was real. And then all of a sudden it came out, and I'm like, oh, shit. Now I gotta push other games back because this game is more important to me than the other games. I would rather play a game I know is good than roll the dice to see if a game is good. Waterbear says, people lie. Numbers state the facts. The facts are AC Shadows isn't doing well or doing as well as they hoped. Correct. And that's not me shitting on AC Shadows. People look at this and say I'm shitting. I'm giving shit to the marketing behind AC Shadows, not the game itself. You know what I mean? But there'll be people that come in, hear me go, 30's just bitchy. He hates it. Right? But they don't actually listen to what I'm saying. Elnity says, 30, when do you see Splinter Cell again? Ubisoft trolling. I mean, I like the Splinter Cell series. I would be okay with them coming out with another Splinter Cell. Right? But here's what they'll do. They'll fuck it up in some way, shape, or form. They'll make like Splinter Cell like The Division, right? Or they'll make a Splinter Cell like Assassin's Creed Shadows, where it's like this giant open world game with microtransactions and stuff in it, where all I want is a Splinter Cell game. Kuda Papa says, 30. Not sure it's a poor Souls copy. I've tried it several times, and the game looks good, plays poorly. If it plays poorly, not that I'm defending it, because make a game, sell a game. But is it something they could patch in and fix it? Because a bad game is one patch away from being a good game, right? And I'm not saying where like the game is broke, right? Like I don't defend those games, right? If it comes out and something's wrong with it, they need to fix it. They should have fixed it before it launched. But is it something that it can fix in a patch and then be fine? If they can, then I don't think it's that big of a deal. Is it a big deal that they released it with these problems? Yeah, I think it is. Elneny says, 30, what is your favorite Elder Scrolls game? Here's the thing. When I played Morrowind, I was like, this is awesome. Then when I played Oblivion, I was like, man, this is awesome. Then when I played Skyrim, I was like, man, this is awesome, right? And now that Oblivion's remastered and it looks like Skyrim, I think it's closer. It's closer now because I loved Oblivion, but I loved Skyrim more. Okay, because it was everything Oblivion was, but the graphics were updated and it just felt so good, right? Like you lived in that game. But now that Oblivion's here, and it's almost like, even though they remastered it, it's like too little too late. You know what I mean? It's like 19 years later, now it looks like Skyrim type of thing. I think I'm going to have to go with Skyrim. I'm not gonna throw ESO online stuff in that category. I'm just the games that I think I'm gonna have to go with Skyrim. Jason says Splinter Cell is dead. Just like Rainbow Six. It's dead to me. Gaming Fire. I want a broken, buggy Splinter Cell. And you'll pay full price, pre-order it, and you'll get 2 copies. Aku says, Splinter Cell will die, and Sam Fisher will die just to be replaced by Sam Fisher. That's female. His daughter. Altered says, talk for yourself, 30. AC Shadows is shit. They shit all over the country's culture. They messed up the historically accurate depiction of Japan and more average than FIFA. I can't tell you if a game is shit or not, Altern, if I've never played it. That's why I go for it, right? So I try not to comment on if a game is good or bad based on like gameplay and stuff. I didn't play it. I could tell you what other people said and regurgitate what they said, but I can't tell you my personal opinion on the game if it's good or bad, right? I can tell you my outside perspective of it, but the game sales prove that it's not good, right? It didn't sell well. Aku says, I think the patch might work, but it could also be a part of the game. It feels like the Dark Souls 2 with a double-checked enabled, or double-clicking enabled. Jason says Sam Fisher's daughter will take over. There you go. Yeah. Be like, no. And then her story is a revenge for her father of the corrupt organization. All right. Let's go. Do I want to talk about the digital stuff, or yeah, we'll talk about Xbox first. If you guys like what I do, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay. So this comes from Windows Central. Okay. Quote, it's literally tens of millions of hours. Xbox CEO Phil Spencer celebrates Xbox Cloud Games' dramatic growth now with per-device usage charts. Okay, this is on April 19th. Okay, we're on April 24th. We were off this week, so otherwise we would have covered this earlier. Okay, Jez Corden says, recently Microsoft shared a full breakdown of Xbox Cloud Gaming usage distribution by platform on mobile. It's a lot lower than you might think. Okay. It says, how Xbox Cloud Gaming doing? Pretty well, it seems. A few years back, Microsoft introduced Xbox Cloud Gaming to the world after years of research and rumors as Microsoft Azure's cloud infrastructure expanded and matured. So did Microsoft's opportunity for Xbox Cloud Gaming. Now we've seen service expand, improve massively in quality and speed again, and a huge array of Xbox Cloud Gaming accessories. And now you can even stream expanding variety of games you actually own. Are people actually using it, though? The answer seems to be very definitive yes. I just used this yesterday, right? So I had no power in my house, okay? And I was using my phone as a hotspot because I didn't want to use a small screen. I had my Xbox controller with my iPad sitting on my back porch with my Wi-Fi hotspot, hitting my iPad, playing Oblivion, and playing a little bit of Marvel Rivals on my back patio with no power, just doing and playing for about 2 hours, right? Playing about 2 hours, okay? So, had a nice extension cord running to the generator, okay, to power my stuff because I had my fridge and stuff hooked up to our generator, okay? But, you know, it was awesome. As a single player, now, Marvel Rivals ran actually pretty damn well. A little bit of a hit or miss here or there, but I was playing against AI, not against people, right? But playing Oblivion for like 2.5 hours on the cloud, it's like flawless. Much better than it was 4 years ago when I was part of the beta test of the stuff, right? So it says, where was I? Okay. In a recent interview with iJustine, Xbox lead Phil Spencer described where the platform is heading and how well Xbox Cloud Gaming has been performing in recent months. It says, quote, "We've always tend to just follow where these people playing. It's just been amazing to see the number of people, and now they're playing Xbox via cloud, literally tens of millions of hours every single month and growing dramatically." Yesterday, Microsoft shared a recent GDC session of Xbox Cloud Gaming, included a full breakdown of how the users engage with the platform. Surprisingly, Xbox One takes the lion's share of use as more and more games skip native Xbox One versions in favor of the Xbox Series X and S. And the Xbox One cloud streaming is very close behind in smart TVs, in modern Samsung range, and also Xbox Cloud Gaming built in, which is quite handy. Surprisingly, on the low end, though, is smartphones. I think the reason for this right now is because more older gamers don't want to play on smaller screens. As I just described to you, I didn't want to play on my phone, and I put it on my iPad. And to play on my iPad, I don't have internet access because I had no power, so I had to use a hi-fi watts I can't speak, chat. I used a hotspot, okay, for my iPad because it's a bigger screen, okay? So I think that would be a reason a lot of older gamers are not using the smaller phones, okay? But who knows? We'll see. So it has expected more use. I think reality is smartphones or touch controls aren't a great experience. Owning a to screen size, most gamers are simply designed for TVs with zoomed on cameras and smaller fonts. I would never use the touch controls on a cell phone or my iPad, right? I either play on my phone and use the backbone, or I use the controller and I hook up the Bluetooth to my iPad or my phone or the laptop or the television set, okay? So here's the unlocking flexibility anywhere, okay? So Xbox One consoles is this portion right here. Think about this. This is streaming to. Look at the size of Xbox One consoles. That is a portion of people that don't realize there's another 30 million, sorry, right? How many? Actually, let me look this up for a second. No, best consoles. Best consoles of all time. How many did the Xbox One sell? Xbox One, 58 million. Now, I'm not saying all 58 million people are using cloud gaming, but that's 58 million. That's 20 million more. That's 20 million more. 30 million more. 30 million more people, okay, that have an Xbox Series X and S. Okay? So let's go back to this. This chart, okay, has the most people using Xbox One consoles. Now, I do remember a buddy of ours who still owned an Xbox One, played Starfield, okay, through the cloud, and was blown away by it. He's like, yeah, I don't own an Xbox Series S and X. I'm playing Starfield through the cloud, okay, and I'm playing on the Xbox One. And obviously, it's being streamed from an Xbox Series S, okay? But the fact that that's a big percentage that I don't think a lot of people look into when they think about past consoles being pushed to use the cloud gaming and play those games, okay? The second one is smart TVs. Look at that chunk, okay? I wish there was a percentage I wish there was a percentage of what it was. I mean, obviously we could try to figure it out. I would say it's probably a good 22%. It's like 22, 23. Same with this, you know what I mean? And then you have the bits and pieces left over. But smart TVs, that's a lot of people playing cloud gaming on a smart TV. Then you have Windows PC. Look, smart streaming to the Xbox One and to smart TVs is just as big as the Windows PC crowd and just as big as the Xbox Series X and S. Right? So if we know the number, which I don't think we do, but if we know the number of how many people are playing streaming-wise on the new consoles, Xbox Series S and X, you could take that number and times it by 4 because these pie charts are all about the same and similar in similar sizes. Okay? Then you have mobile, which is bigger than the other desktop and other devices, but these are the three smallest. This is surprising. These two right here, smart TVs and Xbox One consoles, are the exact same size as the current gen and PC. Right? It says, in GDC talk, Microsoft explained a variety of new ways that Xbox developers can leverage cloud gaming, including cloud aware of using interfacing and scaling to smaller screens, unlocking the 16.9 aspect ratio, adapt more screen sizes, and much more. Indeed, most of these issues around the Xbox Cloud Gaming, Xbox Play Anywhere, and more simply present development hours and polish. Spencer acknowledged that some of the issues fans are also running into discovering the Xbox ecosystem on PC, noting that we have a lot of work to do. Okay, only yesterday he wrote an article complaining, or Jez, only yesterday I wrote an article complaining about how the Xbox app on PC handles library concurrent. Okay, which also explicitly showing Windows Phone games recently. A source confirmed to me that the fact that it was a bug, but part of an ongoing working unify Xbox store listings between console and PC. He says, quote, obviously, with people finding Xbox on PC, we have a lot of work to do there. We've teased and talked about handhelds, and I'm very excited because we both travel some. And sometimes we can't always take our consoles or whole gaming desktop with us. Okay, but in reality, about building experience around person is also a part of it gets me most excited. And there's a single device at the center. It's not one game, it's a player and the center. Making sure that all the games are available to all your saved games, or all your entitlements are available wherever you go, which is also great, right? Because I played on my iPad and I just continued my game. Quick resume. Okay, just went back right into the actual thing. Okay, so again, this is very surprising to me that the conversation's always about Game Pass and how many users are playing Game Pass or have Game Pass on Windows and Xbox. Now, again, this is not saying how many Xbox users have Game Pass, but obviously they have to pay to be part of the cloud service to play, okay? If the number, again, there's no number there, but the size of the chart showing us that this piece of the pie and this piece of the pie are almost the exact same size as this piece of the pie for PC and this piece of the pie for Xbox Series X and S, okay? That's telling me there's a lot more people that have Game Pass that a lot of people talk about Game Pass don't count because they look at this number, right? They look at this number right here, right? They look at this number right here with Xbox Series S and X and say, well, they only sold 28.3 million copies, okay, for the actual console. So let's just say 50% of these people, right? So let's say 14 million, 15 million, okay, we'll say 14, right? 14 million people have Xbox Game Pass. Well, if we go back to this chart now, if 14 million people are playing on Xbox Series X and X, and this we know from past reports and stuff, that there's more people on PC that have Game Pass than here, then you would assume that maybe this is at like 20. So this is at 35, right? Well, then you have these users, which this piece of the pie is the same as this piece of the pie, right? So then you have Xbox One users playing or paying for Game Pass, some core, cloud, whatever. They have to have a certain tier to access the Xbox Cloud, okay? And there are a lot of people playing on the cloud and Xbox One, the same amount of people that are playing on the new system and PC. And then you have smart TVs. So I don't know, right? Again, I wish there was like a breakdown of actual percentage here. We could figure it out, but I don't really feel like figuring it out. But again, when the talk comes to, well, they only sold 28 million copies of the console of Xbox Series S and X, and yet the pies are equivalent to each other around the thing from 4 different areas: Xbox One smart TVs, Windows PC, and Xbox Series X. There's a lot more people playing on cloud, first of all. And I did say a year and a half ago, I said within the 5 to 7 years, 6 to 7 years is what I said, 6 to 7 years, cloud will be the majority market. Okay? So we have about 5 years remaining, and I'm pretty confident in what I said a year and a half ago. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe if you like what I do here. Please check out some of our other videos. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below or in the live chat. What do you think about this, right? No one's ever talked about the numbers, but you see this pie chart, and it's pretty evenly distributed. So let me know what you guys think in the live chat or in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, chat. So what do you make of it, right? What do you make of it? Because obviously, if you just look at console sales, Xbox Series S and X has only sold roughly 30 million. I think it's like 32 million last time they checked or whatever. Okay, well, last time they shared, but the last time that got updated was 28. So we'll just say 28, okay? But I'm pretty sure it's around the 30 million, right? Just at 30 million or something like that. And if 50% of those people are playing on Xbox Series S and X, and the pie is just as big on PC, and the pie is just as big on the Xbox One, and the pie is just as big on the smart TVs. Again, we don't know those numbers, but that's pretty impressive because I think a lot of people talk about Game Pass, and they don't talk about the smart TV section. They don't talk about the Xbox One section. Let's see. Akuda Papa says, I sent you a picture with what people are talking about on the Fallout 3 remaster. Okay, I'll look at that in a second. El Nini says male and female mod is back on Nexus. I saw a video yesterday about how Nexus took off the mod about the A-type, B-type for Oblivion, and they took it down. Which, here's what I don't understand, okay? And we love going down the rabbit hole here, right? Where I land, I do not know. But here I fall down the rabbit's hole. All right, so they're talking about, well, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Why is it such a big deal if they got rid of the male-female? Why is it a big deal? Right, if it's not a big deal, then why did you change it? Like, if it was male-female in there to begin with, why does it matter that you changed it now to A and B? But now people are pushing back because that was the standard, male-female, and now it's A, B, and they're like, well, why are these guys doing a big deal? You tell us. If it's not a big deal, then why did you change it in the first place? Right? And Nexus taking it down, it's pretty fucking stupid, right? Especially because think about the mentality of that. They're like, there's a mod there that now puts male-female back into the game, that if you, the gamer, want to install that on your single-player game, it's not affecting anybody, right? But Nexus said, we don't want that. Because if that's there, we know people will download this mod and then put it to their game. And we don't want that. Why? Because we would like to push this on people. Say how you want, right? Or think what you want. But if Nexus took that off, meaning they're trying to push a narrative instead of just letting me play my game. Let me play my game how I want to play my game, especially a single-player game. If I want to put any mod on there, okay, they're okay with letting a mod where you can be, I don't know, Adolf Hitler in a mod. Fine. But changing male-female, we got a problem. We've got a problem. Roadkill says, quick resume doesn't work a lot on a lot of games. It brings you right back to the start menu. It all depends on how many games you're playing and you have in the background. If you're playing like 15 different games, Roadkill, it only stores, I think, like 3 resumes. So if you go past a certain amount, then yeah, you're going to get kicked back to the menu. Let's see here. Eclipse says, for online games, you have to log into online servers. Right. To play the cloud, you have to be a member. Hilly says, I would have thought that the laptop Win 10 would also have been the biggest for cloud. So surprised by the chart. I'm surprised at the chart that the PC and the current gen are the same size as Xbox One and smart TVs. That's what I'm surprised about. And we use all this stuff, right? Like my son uses the smart TV when we go to grandma's, right? I use cloud on my iPad and my phone all the time. El Nita says this is a huge deal to them. Otherwise, they would have kept male and female. Exactly. Exactly. Let's see here. Nexus male-female mod, not good. Also, Nexus raid mod with animations of X-rated stuff, totally fine. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't keep consistency across the board, right? They're like, oh, yeah, you could do this sexual stuff, and that's fine. You want to put male and female? Fucking get that shit out of here. It's like, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? These people are delusional. People are delusional, right? It's like, you guys can think however you want, but if you think this way, get the fuck out of my chat. Like, what? That's not how that works. That's not how that works, right? If I want to put male, female in my mod for my game in single player, hell, let's just say it's an online game, and I still want to put male and female. Nobody sees that except me. So let it be an option. Why take it? Why take it out? Why take it out? Think about the repercussions of that. They're like, yeah, we just don't want male or female in there because that shows that there's only two genders. Oh Lord, imagine someone just turning on their game and playing the game how they want to play. Quintar says, what did I walk into this morning? Well, you walked into, we were talking about it, the cloud gaming, and then El Nini brought in that, and Nexus brought their mod back in because they removed a mod because it said male and female, and they were like, you can't have that. There's people that are upset about it. Why are you so upset, man? It's the same thing. It's like, why are you upset that they added it back in the game? All right, let me see what you put in the Discord. What is this? This is... Oh, open that in a new tab. ZeniMax Management Forecast. What is this? Explain this to me. This is console, PC, free-to-play, mobile... You threw this at me, Aku, but I don't know what this is. I have a mod pack with Skyrim on a Nexus that has beautiful bodies. It improves how the characters look. Oh, yeah, I've seen all that stuff. Yeah. What is this data sheet you sent me here? Right, it's not a big deal. Okay, then why did you change it? That's exactly right. That's the mentality, right? Right? It's not a big deal. Then why did you change it? Because even if you decide that you're sitting in your own house and there's a male and female tab and you're staring at it, and you're like, well, in real life, I don't identify as a male or female. I identify as a tree. There's no tree tab here. I should complain, right? And then you're like, well, type A, I still identify as a tree, but I like type A better, which is male. And then type B is female. And you're like, you know what? I identify as a tree, but I'm going to pick A. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. So why don't you just make it male or female? If you identify, cool. I identify as a notebook piece of paper. I'm about as white, right, as a piece of paper. So why not? ZeniMax leaked from FTC on the left, and when they were supposed to release. Oh, this is for the remaster stuff. Gotcha. Okay, well now I'll bring it up because now I understand what the hell you're trying trying to show. Okay. So, yeah, this is the remaster stuff. So, in fiscal year of 2020, and everything got pushed back like 2 years, right? So, Greymoor didn't come out until like 2022, right? Wastelanders didn't come out until 2022. Starfield didn't come out until 2023, right? Redfall, same thing, 2022, 2023 area. Ghostwire, all this, right? So now, here we are, okay? So over here, we have the Oblivion remaster, which is 2022, which is 2024, which is now 2025, okay? So now we're talking Fallout 3, which is supposed to be 2024, which means it probably won't come out 2026, maybe 2027, but that'd be interesting, Fallout 3 remaster. I think they're going to beeline this one. I think they would be very smart. I don't know when the next season drops for Fallout's TV series, but if you had the Fallout TV series drop this time next year, let's say March or April, I know it said it might come out this year, at the end of this year, but if you could drop the series March or April next year, and this comes around that time, whoo, Fallout 3 remastered, looking like the Oblivion remaster, people pick that up. That would sell like hotcakes. Let's see. Quintar says, I thought was a slight smell of pine this morning. Yeah, that's me. Aku says, I just got the Indiana, Oblivion, and Starfield DLCs, which means Fallout is at least next year, if not 2027 for release date. Yeah. Everything got pushed back like 2 years. Travis says, I identify as a Gundam, so I am a Gundam. Yeah, that's fine. Argus says, I'd rather people identify as a Gundam than another gender. It just shows you how mental health is so bad in this country, and it's going to be so much worse in the next generation. Yeah, we're not gonna know what the repercussions are until my son, because you got to remember, 5 years ago he was 5. He didn't get to go to school. Well, in Florida we did, but there's a lot of people that missed years of school. Okay, years of school. And we're not going to know the repercussions of that until they're in college, until they're in the workforce. You know what I mean? And it's going to be really weird, right? We're not going to know the repercussions of what happened 5 years ago until 15 years from now. Aku says the Fallout TV has estimated release next year, but nothing solid. I would assume that they would line up the remaster with it. I would think so too, but obviously there's things that don't happen. Like, for instance, Fantastic Fours and Marvel Rivals, they could have waited and put them out during the Fantastic Four film, but they didn't. So there are things that happen like that. Marvel Avengers did the exact same thing. What's going on, Ray? That's not a fire alarm, by the way. That's me turning my fan on to a higher setting. All right, the next story, I thought this was interesting. And I'll give you my thoughts, obviously. If you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Okay, renting video game consoles is so back. Remember back in the day where you would go to Blockbuster or Hollywood Video and you couldn't afford a console, right? Because mom and dad were working 2 jobs and not a lot of households could own it, but you could rent it for a week. You had to show a driver's license. They give you that big, giant fucking suitcase like you're in the FBI, okay? And with all the cables and stuff inside there, and you would walk it out, and you'd be like a pig in shit. You'd be so happy as a kid. You'd be like, yeah, I get to play, yeah. You got a week, and you were in that moment, man. You were like, I can't wait to get home and play this. And then your dad had to hook up the cables and didn't know where it went. And you're like, Dad, just give it to me. Let me do it, right? You finally plug it in. You start playing your video games, and you're just renting your systems, okay? You're just renting your systems, okay? Well, now it's back, and this seems a little weird. Now, back then, systems were only $150, right? $150 back in the day, renting games, maybe $200. Okay. But now they're $500. Now they're $700. So renting video game consoles is so back, and you can pay to borrow the PlayStation 5 in Japan, and surprisingly, it's popular. Okay. So very interesting. It said the first time I ever set hands on a PlayStation 2 was a rental from Blockbuster. There you go. It came in a black suitcase. Like I said, came into the fucking like FBI suitcase. I played the bouncer all weekend in that fantastic practice, and leading into the entire video game console did not last very long. But it recently become a hit back in Japan again. Fans were reportedly renting PlayStation 5s in droves. Why do you think in Japan, which is one of the larger markets where the PlayStation is, why do you think people are renting the consoles? I would assume, and again, this is just my opinion, I would assume that the people in Japan probably don't have the amount of time to put a full time into video games to owning one, right? They probably go in for the weekend, see one game or two games that they're interested in, and they're like, hey, you know what? I'll pay for the week or 2 weeks, okay? And they rent it, which means they're not buying it. Meaning they have no interest in buying a console, which is very interesting, because people keep telling me, right? People keep telling me that consoles are just as popular today as they were back in the day. And we know this as factually false because people have said that it's matured in 2008, and ever since 2008, console sales have gone down, PC sales have gone up, okay? So it's 100% false that more people are buying consoles. If more people are buying consoles, why are they renting consoles in Japan? Okay? So Japan's rental chain, Geo, recently told IT Media, okay, that about 80% of their PlayStation 5s are currently loaned out. Well, how many do they have? The program started just a few months ago and apparently paid off. People normally rent CDs and DVDs and Blu-rays from Geo's 1,000 stores across the country, but the company decided that to add PlayStation 5s to the menu, as the price of the console jumped from 66,980 yen to 79,980 yen due to inflation and weak exchange rates. Okay, I want to know how many they have per store. That's what I would like to know. Right? Let's just say they have 5 at each store. 1,000 stores. Right? That's 5,000. That's 5,000 more units out there that were bought and paid for, obviously, by the chain, but they're renting them out, which are not users. Okay? Rentals are usually met with a lot of people to enjoy expensive items at a low price at home. Geo product manager told IT Media that PlayStation 5 rentals are an extension of the philosophy. The service sounds cheap indeed. Geo is charging 980 yen to rent a PlayStation 5 a week. What is that, chat? 980 yen. What is that conversion to? Okay. Plenty of time to beat Astrobot or even Elden Ring if you're off from work or school. Some companies in the U.S. still provide console rentals as well, though it's less clear how popular those are. Rent-A-Center will loan out PlayStation 5s for $26 a week. Okay. Much more than Geo deal, but still not terrible. $26 to rent. I guess if you rent it a couple times a year, still like what, 5 times a year, you spend $100, $125 to rent a system for a week. Let's see. Both other recent trends of gaming have definitely made a proposition less attractive. Party games like Guitar Hero that will might also get you rent console for the weekend, get together, or vacation, or the non-existent, and many other most popular releases can be played in a smartphone for older hardware. A kid without a PlayStation 5 is way more likely to ask for Fortnite skins or Roblox than a week-long glimpse of the next-gen gaming. Of course, if you ever get to that long a predicted console less future, retro hardware rentals will hopefully make a comeback. Okay, is that it? Oh, continue reading. No, this is a different story. So that's interesting that they're renting games again. Obviously, the price is going up and less people are buying consoles. So more people are renting the consoles. But $26 in the United States, I don't know what that is Ray says $7. Jesus, $7. That's a really good price for a week. $7? $7. Hold on a second. $7? That's $350 for the year. If you rented for $7 a week for 52 weeks, you would be paying $350. It's actually not a bad deal. It's not a bad deal. How do you come up with the conclusion that people that rent something don't want to own something? I mean, that's crazy. I mean, 1 + 1 is 2, Ray. Roadkill. Okay. Because if you're a renter for a condo, you probably want to own a condo or own a house, but you're renting because you can't afford to own. If you're renting a car, which is leasing, because you can't afford to buy a new car, then you would lease it. You might want to own, but you just can't afford it. Okay? So the conclusion is, if someone wants to own a console, but they can't afford a console, they would rent it until they can afford it. I mean, that's pretty reasonable, right? I don't know where I'm coming up with this crazy conclusion of people that can't afford something rent the things. Kuda Papa with the $5 super chat. Numbers are in. Less people buying consoles this year, just like last year. Jerry, how do we turn this around? Argus says that's $100 a month, brother. Hell nah. In the United States. The article's about Japan. And that's $7. $7. Was it 6 per day? I have no idea. What's the conversion? 980 yen. 980 yen. And they said 26 is much more expensive than what it is in Japan. Hal says if renting games becomes popular again, clearly it'll be a force to drop game prices, right? Yeah. And this is why we've talked about how Game Pass is such a good value. And the more that they keep raising these prices to $80, $90, $100 video games is going to drive people to Ubisoft Plus, going to drive people to EA Play, going to drive people to PlayStation Plus, going to drive people to Game Pass. Quintar says, damn, that's cheap for a system rental. I mean, I rent my house. I do not own it. I can tell you that. Yeah. People rent stuff because they don't want to own or they can't afford to own. Hell, we rented for the longest time until we could buy a condo. And then while we bought the condo, okay, it was cheaper for us to invest into buying the condo, and then we lived there for a decade. We saved money up, and then we bought a house, right? I don't buy a brand new car. We're leasing a car because it works for us, right? Because we don't drive that far, so we're under the miles. I don't have to worry about the wear and tear on the actual thing. At the end of the 3 years, I turn in my car, and then I get a new car as long as the price makes sense. People rent things all the time. There's a whole fucking business called Rent-A-Center. People literally rent out the whole goddamn furniture, the television set, everything. I wonder if they let you run and buy it, like you can rent it all year and purchase it. I would assume they would. Why wouldn't they? Like GameFly did the exact same thing. You could rent the game from GameFly, and then if you had it, you would pay for the week or whatever, and then they would give you a discount because you had it for a week. They would give you a discount for the week, and then you could purchase, just keep a disc, and then they would send you the manual and the case. Aku says 30. Unless PlayStation Plus changes, people won't be running to it. Ubisoft Plus is more likely. I think all streaming services would go up in a price. I mean, you're looking at PlayStation Plus because they don't do day and date. They might not run to it, but there's a lot of games on PlayStation Plus. I do think people will be like, I can't afford this. I'm just going to get PlayStation Plus. Robert Jones says, y'all renting Game Pass right now. That's right. Game Pass is Blockbuster. Technically, Robert Jones, even if you buy it, you're renting it. You're just paying up front, right? You're paying up front. You're paying more money to own the game that you don't own that they can shut down, right? So if I'm playing on Game Pass and you're playing on, you own the game, obviously I'm playing more long-term. If I'm playing one game on Game Pass, it's not worth it. Just buy the game, okay? But let's say Concord, for instance. Let's just put in this perspective. Concord came out, and let's say it was everywhere. It was on Game Pass and whatnot. If I'm playing on Game Pass and you bought it for full price, and then 2 weeks later it shut down, we're in the exact same boat. We both can't play. The difference is I'm out 20, but I can still play other games. You're out 70 or whatever the fuck it costs, $40, okay, and you can't play it ever again. Sin says, I was all in on GameFly in the 360 days. Bought many games from them. Yeah, me too. Me too. That's where I found Mass Effect 2. I rented Mass Effect. I rented Mass Effect 2, then bought Mass Effect 1, and then kept Mass Effect 2 from GameFly. That would be interesting, House. If GameStop turned into what Blockbuster was. Now, that is a business model I think they might get behind, where they can rent out their games. You put a credit card on file. If you don't bring it back, then they just charge your credit card, right? I can actually see that happening. I can see GameStop doing that. Rent the system, rent the games. Very interesting. GameStop could become Blockbuster. I never even thought about that. Never even thought about that, House. That actually could work for GameStop. Robert Jones says, I own my house, but as long as there's property tax, I'm fucking renting. Just rent games digitally? Give a cut to the publishers? Well, here's the thing, right? What about, so for instance, let's say GameStop loads a whole bunch of games on the new Nintendo Switch 2 or on the new Xbox Digital. They tell you that there's a service on there. This is what you log into or whatever. There's a lot of thought process that's to go into it. But they rent the system to you, and it's loaded with a bunch of games. Okay, and then you rent it for the week. It's interesting because then all you have to do is have your own account, right? That could work. Oh, for sure, Quintar. Of course there'll be late returnal fees. But think about what's GameStop going to do in the future when everything's digital. If they have all the digital games on the console and you rent the console, that could work. Although Xbox wouldn't benefit from this, or I should say they wouldn't benefit for people renting Xbox because they could just play Xbox on their television sets. But it would benefit with the digital version of the Switch or the digital version for PlayStation. Since as I knew the GameFly tricks for the new games too, always kept the new releases in my queue. So as soon as they dropped, I'd be amongst the first to get them. A copy sent to me. Nice. Dupla says, I got 2 Switch 2 bundles last night. Sold one for eBay for $690. Nice, Duplas. Congratulations. Becoming a scalper. There you go. You've become the thing that you hate. Profiting off others' misfortune. I hate scalpers. Proceeds to buy 2 and sell 1 for profit. Titan says it could work. Depends on the price. Oh, of course. Of course. I never even thought about that until House brought it up. And I was like, wait a minute, that could actually work for GameStop. I mean, I've always talked about GameStop having a thing where they turn into an internet cafe type of thing. So they already have the boxes there, and you come and pay for rental time to play there, right? Instead of, so it's like an arcade, you know what I mean? Big in Japan, stuff like that. But renting the actual games and renting the systems and stuff like that, that could work for GameStop. They become Blockbuster. Jason says, I could always pull the Amazon trick and get the game for free. There would have to be something in place. Like in Blockbuster, you would have to get a credit card on file. And if you did something like the first time, you would get away with it. But the second time, then you would get caught or stuff like that, you know? Quintar says, oh, I think the rental system is a good idea for those that can't afford it. No, Quintar. Roadkill said, no one can. Don't you think the people that can afford it would pay for it? Nobody rents. Nobody rents, Quintar. Everyone can afford everything. Dupla says, I'm just saying, fuck it. I'm gaming the system now. Hey, I'm not making fun of you, Dupless. I just thought it was funny because you constantly always say, fuck the scalpers, fuck these people that make money. And then here you are, you're like, I bought 2, sold 1. Again, congratulations, right? If you can't beat them, join them. There you go. That's America. The free market, baby. The free market. Quintar says, scalpers should get instant banned. Can I rent a wife? You can. There's the whole Russian bride's order stuff. You know, that's out there. And maybe you could probably pick them up for the same price you just made from the Nintendo Switch. I don't know. I've talked about that, Jones. I've said that in the past, right? We talked about it on GXG. I said that'd be cool if you come in and you like play a game before, right? Before you buy it. But again, because of Game Pass now, you could do that at your house before you buy it. If you have a Xbox, before you buy it, you're like, oh, I'll play it on Game Pass and see if it works. But that would be I think it would be a good feature in GameStop. If you can come in and go, hey, do you guys have this game? And they have systems back there, right? They just pop open the disc, or they already have a system that all the games are downloaded. It's a fucking business write-off for them because it's digital. And they're like, yeah. You rent it, you could, $5 to get to play for 10 minutes or whatever the fuck it is. And they're like, oh, cool, you get to try it out. Whatever it is. You sit there, half hour, whatever it is. That'd be smart. Come on. All of us used to go to Best Buy. All of us used to go to GameStop. You see the display. You sit there and you start playing Nintendo, testing out the thing, right? You're like, all right, come on. Your parents are like, come on. You're like, no, hold on 1 second. I'm playing a game. You're like, come on, we got to go. I got to go shopping. You're like, all right, I'll tell you what. You stay here. You play this. I'll be back for you in 10 minutes, right? And you're like, okay, Ma. All right, yeah. That's what you used to do in Best Buy. That's what you used to do in GameStop. No difference. Only that was free. Now because they can't sell games to you anymore because they're all digital, now they got to charge you. Roadkill says, why are you picking on me? I mean, you do it to yourself. Roadkill. You say stuff like that, you're part of the show now. You're part of the show. You didn't have to type it. Right? You thought it. You typed it. Now it's part of the show. The problem is space for Internet Cafe. Well, they're going to have plenty of space in GameStops because they ain't selling shit. They've got to figure it out. They don't need a back room anymore. In GameStop because there ain't no games. They got to figure out a futuristic plan of how do we get people to come in and play the new games because they're going old school now. They decided they're only going to sell old games. Since it's a great feature for every game would be for them to include a free time trial. I love those discs back in the day. We always bring that up, right? The little disc in the back of the magazine you used to get. You try like a 5-minute, 10-minute thing, one level type of thing. That's what you need. Demos are great. Demos are great. And that's why I really like Game Pass. Game Pass just for that alone. Because you could try a game out before you buy it or before you want to play it. You're like, I'll play it for a little bit. No skin off my back. I didn't pay $70 for it. Titan says they need space for Funko Pops and plushies. There's a landfill of plushies and bobbleheads, okay? There's a huge thing going on that no one's buying these things. They make too many of them. Dupless said Game Pass hopped on. I did. I saw this, Dupless. I went to a GameStop about 2 weeks ago, and they removed the section of the store, at least my store. They removed the section where that used to be like the memorabilia stuff, like the figurines and stuff. Now it's like one tiny shelf and a giant wall of Pokemon trading cards and the Disney one, whatever the Disney one is called. That's all they have now. I walked in, I was like, what happened here? And like the video game section like shrunk. I'm like, this is terrible. What are they doing? Travis says, I'm going to GameStop to buy a game today. Just funny timing. What game are you buying? Yeah, that's it, Dupless. That's it. What you buying? What you buying there, buddy? I thought you said you already bought it. Roadkill says, why don't they open up like a gaming coffee shop with PlayStation 5s and Xboxes and you can have a coffee and rent? But we've talked about this. This is exactly what we talked about. I was like, yeah, you just sell food and stuff and have people come in to hang out. Like you have to buy something to play the games. Right? Yeah, that's exactly. I was like, why not? I'm not talking about a demo anymore. I mean, straight time trial off the full release of the game. Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If it was a demo or a trial, what I'm saying is they do a hard cutoff. A game just recently did that. What game recently did that? Where you could do a trial up to like the first level or whatever it was. Let's see. Pokemon cards on the market is retarded. Non-EO, you also should even attempt at this point. GameStop needs to because they are charging people to get their Pokemon cards graded through a whole other company. Dupla says the market for Funko Pops crashed 2 years ago, and now they're hard to get rid of. That's right. There's landfills. There's stories of landfills filled with Funko Pops. Right there next to E.T. Gaming cafes are already a thing, mostly for PCs, though. They have like one or two PlayStations and Xboxes in there. I used to go to a gaming cafe when I was in college, right? Because I went to school all the time. It wasn't affordable for me to buy a PC and play all the games. So for 13 months when I was at this at Full Sail, there was a internet cafe on the backside, and we used to go there, and I would just rent an hour at a time, and I would just play Star Wars Galaxies and whatnot. It's like $5. It's like $5 for an hour. Nate says 33 Expedition is so good in the way you parry the counterattack. House says if I was GameStop, I'd be buying up Nintendo games like crazy for rental right now. For the original Switch, I don't know, man. Nintendo, we're not gonna understand what's happening right now until Nintendo Switch 2 is out and all the games come out and they're all physical, digital. You know what I mean? The key codes. Or arcade systems, yeah, where they put like 1,000 games and stuff like that. That's a thing. I look, I'm a person, like, I don't like that Marathon's not putting proximity chat in, right? I like the fact that when you play a multiplayer game, you have that interaction with someone talking. It's just fun, Okay. I don't care if they're talking about their balls or if they're talking or yelling at their parents in the background, right? There's that interaction. This is why I like going to movie theaters, right? There's that interaction that you have with the crowd around you. This is why I like arcades. This is why I like going places, right? I'm a very social person. Okay. I like being around people and talking to people. Okay. Everyone, even though you hate people, I know a lot of you hate people, don't like to be around people, but you also like to talk to people. Otherwise, you wouldn't go watch people on Twitch and interact with them in chat, right? You like socializing. So there's this missing ability, right? This is why games are starting to put co-op back on the games, split screen, talking, party chat, Discord, right? This is why people like doing this stuff, because there's that missing piece. Internet cafes, to me, if I could go to an arcade, I'm trying to think. If I could play Marvel Rivals in an arcade scene, fuck yeah, I would do that. 100%. If I could go to an arcade and play Marvel Rivals, that is a arcade game I would sit and play and banter with people that we have in common. What we do here, okay, on YouTube and Twitch, okay, is that we play video games and talk. I'm playing a video game. You're playing a video game. I can't see yours. You can see mine, and we're having a conversation. You might be playing a completely different game. You might be playing the exact same game. There's that social connection, okay? And when you're at an arcade, the veil is down, the wall is down. You're just one person in front of another person, okay? This is not even the same, right? Because I don't see you, you see me, okay? But when we're at an arcade, when we're at a movie theater, when we're at a cafe, okay, you see that person, and there is no shit talking. And if there is shit talking, what I mean shit talking is there's no anonymous shit talking. You can't shit talk and then look at the person in the eyes. I can banter back and forth to you and shit talk you at the arcade, but there's this difference, right? If you're shit talking to me and we're playing Killer Instinct, or we're playing Street Fighter, or we're playing NFL Blitz, or we're playing Marvel Rivals, let's say, okay, and you're talking shit to me, I know you're just bantering back and forth with me, okay? I know that we're playing and you're just talking shit. But on the internet, people can't tell what's real or fake, or how mean someone is, or if what they mean, because they can't see facial expressions. They can't see this stuff. When you're in an arcade, when you're in person, we have this like this contract that you're right, this unwritten rule of, yeah, we're both playing games, we both are gamers, we both like this game, we're both playing, we're both having fun, right? That's what's missing from all of this today, okay? I will take an arcade, I will take a movie theater, I will take any of that stuff where I can socialize with someone in person. Kraken says, no, 30, please, that's toxic, you'll hurt my feelings. Right, Altern says, I can talk shit to 30, he can't punch me back. If he gets mad, he only bans me. That's my face still intact. Right. You could say whatever you want, right? It doesn't work the other way. I can say what I want, but someone could be like, well, I'm gonna search for him. Oh, yeah, Quintar, you always have to say, just kidding, just joking, just kidding, bro. The lockdown has helped with co-op games for socializing. Yeah, but not enough. Like right now, my son has just started, right? He's playing Fortnite. He's starting to kids at school, and it was weird, right? And those of you that are parents might understand this a little bit if you have a little one, okay? So when COVID happened and kids were out of school and they were slowly going back in again, and Florida was a little different because we didn't really close down. It was a couple of weeks, not years, okay? But when kids were out of school for a certain period of time, and then they started going back in, they didn't know how to act in school, in class, because they never went to school. They were in kindergarten, then stopped, and then all of a sudden they were in, second grade, right? They skipped a year, okay? So they didn't have that interaction with other kids. They were at home with their siblings or by themselves. Then when they get in school, there's no respect for the teacher. There's no respect for other kids. They didn't know what the hell they're doing. So it started to slowly, like, just to ask a kid to go to the playground now is like it's like a puzzle game, right? In a video game. It's like my son can't go to a park with someone because parents are still like crazed out that I don't want to go to a park because it could be weird. It's like what like get over it, man. Like let the kids be kids. Anyway, he's starting to have friends now that all play Fortnite together. So he comes home, He does his homework. He's like, hey, can I play with my friend? Boom. He's starting to get a friends list, right? He's got like 5 or 6 people on his friends list. He plays one friend with, Fall Guys. He plays another friend with Fortnite, right? He starts to play and he's starting to build up this friends list. And seeing him socialize is like fucking amazing. You're like, holy Christ, we're starting to heal. We're starting to go back to what things were normal. Right? He's got that interaction with the friends that he's in school with, and he's playing with them at home, even though they're not in the same room. But then when they go back, they're joking. Oh, remember last night when we played that? Like that's what you need. Growing up, my favorite part of movie theaters was the arcade games. Oh yeah, yeah. You can't even find an arcade. You put an arcade machine in there, people would look at it like it's Back to the Future. They'd be like, what is this? Like, they wouldn't even know what the hell it is. Unless tickets are popping out of it. That's what they need. That's what kids think an arcade is. Redemption tickets. That's an arcade for kids. Like, that's not an arcade. Because they think they have the arcade at home. Get ready to buy him V-Bucks? Oh, no, I say I don't have to buy him anything, Dupless. This is how it works in my house. Okay, if he wants something, he has to earn it, right? It's called an allowance. It's called chores. It's called birthday money. It's called Christmas money. He can do what he wants with his money. And he's already learned that as long as he buys or completes the season pass and then buys it, he's got enough money to buy the next season pass. My son and his friends call each other minor racial names and jokes in good fun all the time. He gets along with fantastic. I couldn't be more proud. I love how you say they say little minor racial things. I'm so proud of them. Yeah, like they're being kids. Doesn't McDonald's still have play places? I haven't been to a McDonald's in 24 years, so. Don't they still have play places? Like I know Chick-fil-A has them. McDonald's doesn't have those anymore? That's a lot of chores to get a Switch 2. Well, he's not getting a Switch 2. Oh, do you know what I thought about, Altern? You're saying like father, like son. My son's a little upset because the next Star Wars season is not as long as a regular season. And he told me about that. He's like, yeah, I think it's only like 5 weeks. It's a smaller season. And I went, why do they do that? And I dropped him off at school today. And when I was driving home, I was thinking about it. And I go, oh, I know why they do it. I know why they do it. Because a regular season, you pay, what, $10? You pay $10. And if you beat that season, you have $10 back to buy the next season. Well, if the next season between seasons is a smaller season and you pay for that, then you won't have $1,000 for your next season pass, which is $1,000. So then you have to pay more money to get it. So as long as you pay for one season to the next big season, right? And this is why they're using Star Wars for the smaller season, because now you're going to pay for that battle pass separate, or you're going to have to pay for the next season afterwards. Quintar with the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Quintar. Appreciate the continued support. We got Roadkill, Drummond, VL Tactical, The Dean, Wrecked One, YouTube, Scotty B, Queen Blueface, Robert Jones, Vex 505, and Muggin. Was it Muggin plus one? There you go. 10 gifted memberships. Appreciate it very much. Since this Andor aired on ABC last night, the new season, episode 1, we were having a conversation. Since you brought it up, we'll go down the rabbit hole before we go to this next story. Okay.
Where I land, I do not know. Here I fall down the rabbit's hole.
All right. So me and Aku were talking this weekend because this article that came out, right? The article that came out. Let me bring up the article. I didn't read the article. I just saw the title. Okay. I just saw the title. I didn't watch the show. I don't watch Andor. Okay. I don't watch Andor. Let me bring this up real fast. Let me see here. Or I shouldn't say I haven't watched Andor. It's not that I don't want to watch it. It's just I haven't watched it. Did I put it inside? There was a post. Okay. Let's see. From 30. There was a post where the guy comes out and says that we all come from grape. I can't say the word because you'll get banned or you get knocked. Let me bring it up. I was like, what is this dude talking about? Here it is. Okay. So this is not the article. This is just a picture of the article. Okay. This is what the creator came out with. Andor creator explains that the shocking assault scene were all the product of grape. Okay. And I was like, well, that's interesting. So I had a little conversation about Andor, right? Now, obviously, I looked more into it, and the scene's not really a big deal, okay? Which led to more of a conversation of, I think Rogue One's an awesome movie, right? And I think Andor supposedly is a really good. All of a sudden, do you see what happens? This is what happens. You see, you can't even say grape. Grape. I said grape. Like, for fuck's sake. Talking about grapes here. All right. Anyway, I think Rogue One, and I think it's a good movie on its own. I think the show looks fantastic, but it doesn't fit in the Star Wars universe for me. Okay, and what I mean by this is that I'm not talking about the story. I'm not talking about the way that I'm talking about the shot, the way it's shot, the way it's portrayed, the way the sets are, everything. It's much more darker, which I have no problem with. Right, I have no problem with it. Okay, I feel like Rogue One and Andor would be a much better thing if it was a standalone. If it was a standalone show, had nothing to do with Star Wars. Okay, but because it sits in the line of the Skywalker saga, okay, it's right in the middle of the Skywalker saga, right between 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, it does not feel like it belongs. The way it's shot, much more grittier, boots on the ground type of stuff. Okay, and again, I like it, but I don't like it for Star Wars. And I get you could do different stories and different things, but there's something about Star Wars, George Lucas Star Wars. Okay, even say what you want about 7, 8, and 9. They're terrible, in my opinion. Okay, but at least they felt like Star Wars films as far as the way they were shot, the way they feel, the jokingness of it and stuff like that. It felt more like Marvel joke type of stuff. But you guys understand what I'm saying? The feel of 1, 2, and 3, the feel of 4, 5, and 6, they all go together. Rogue One is this complete outlier that sits there. Now, if they wanted to redo Star Wars, and I'm not saying remake it and change it up where instead of Luke, it's Leia and stuff like that. I'm saying you just make 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you make it as gritty, boots on the ground, okay, as Rogue One. Now, that would be cool, okay? I would love that, okay? I would love that if they wanted to redo it and make it more gritty, then I would have no problem with it. But because Andor is so, Tony Gilroy is so making it much more grounded, much more realism, okay? That's why it's like I don't hate Andor and I don't hate Rogue One. I just don't like it for Star Wars, right? All right, let me see what you guys are saying here. I can't remember it was something very, very minute. It was I think the guy gets hit over the head before he does it, so he actually doesn't do it, type of thing. Again, I didn't watch the show, so I watched people talk about it. I was just like, it's not that bad. The headline is like, what are we talking about? We're all the product of grape. Like, what? Robert Jones says, I think Andor and Rogue One are my favorite Star Wars. No, I understand what you're saying, but they don't fit in the Star Wars. They don't fit in Star Wars. Since as I would describe Andor as an adult explaining the reason for the rebellion as opposed to Star Wars movies giving a toy-tastic storylines. Yeah, no, I agree with what you guys are saying. I think they're awesome, but they just don't fit. And the example I gave yesterday, right? The example I gave yesterday was, imagine Christopher Nolan, okay, Batman, right? Let's say he made 6 movies, okay? So you have all the gritty, realistic Batman, which he's taken completely away from the comic booky Batman, right? So you love all that. And then all of a sudden, right, those exist. All the Batman exists, 1 through 6, really gritty. And then all of a sudden, Tim Burton throws a prequel in the middle of those, right, that takes place between 1, 2, and 3, and 4, 5, and 6, and it's super cartoony, right? It's Tim Burton's Batman of Michael Keaton in the middle of Nolan's gritty style of Batman, right? Would you stand here today and go, I kind of really like it, that it's more cartoony? No, you would look at it and go, this doesn't fit. It's still Batman, right? It's still telling a story, but it just doesn't fit because it's not stylistically the same. Rogue One and Andor are not stylistically anywhere close to what Star Wars is. It's a much more grittier, right? Much more grittier, much more realistic storytelling than the Star Wars films. Are there realistic and gritty stuff in the Star Wars stories? Sure. Is there death? Is there stuff, sexuality? Yes. It just doesn't fit, though. All right, let's go to this last story. Digital-only console sales. Okay. Digital-only console sales numbers are bad news for physical media. Okay. And obviously we can jump back and forth and stuff. I'm going to talk about the story and we can talk more about Star Wars or whatnot. All right, digital-only consoles sales numbers are bad news for physical media. If you guys like what I do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning until noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button. If you want to do more above that, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so digital-only Xbox Series X and S consoles are reportedly eclipsing their disk drive counterparts by a large margin in 2025 so far. I called this out in 2020. Actually, in 2019 on GXG, I said that they would sell more. Actually, it was the beginning of 2020, okay, because the console came out in 2020. I said the disc, when we found out about it in 2020, I said the diskless version of the Xbox, which is the Xbox Series S, would sell more than the Xbox Series X because that's what they would push. Okay, physical disk drives has been on the market since 2020, and the newer disk drive variant has also released back in October 2024, which is the Xbox Series S X diskless one. Okay. It says the choice between sticking with traditional physical media of years past and embracing all digital formats has also been debated amongst customers for a long time now. The gamers are no different. Okay. It says while most games are still available as discs, its increasing number of players are instead either buying the video games on digital platform or subscribing to a monthly service like Xbox Game Pass. Rumors have even started to claim that retail chains like Target are planning to do away with selling physical games altogether by the end of 2025. All right, everyone's like, well, I'm going to buy physical media. No, you're not. You're not going to buy physical media if the corporations don't let you. Okay. It says this could very well be the signs of times, as recent reports suggest that more people are buying the disk drive free versions of the Xbox Series S and X. That comes out Circana's Matt Piscatella, who revealed that 75% of Xbox console sales have been for digital only Xbox. Well, why do you think that is? Right? Is there a difference in price? Is it cheaper to buy a diskless version? Sure is. That's why PlayStation sells the disc drive separately for $80. Okay? Xbox and PlayStation are all the same. Okay? Nintendo's the same. They don't have a disc drive. They have a little card slot, but now they're putting that as digital card. Okay? So you could put a physical card in there, but it's still digital. Okay? They know what they're doing, and they're all in it together. They're making the industry go towards digital because that's more money in their pockets. And they want more money from your pockets because that's why they're raising the ticket prices, right? Which is the game prices. It says this is no small accomplishment given that while the disc-free Xbox Series X has only been out on the market for a few months. Okay, it says digital-only consoles take the lead in sales. Many factors could play into the apparent preference of digital-only Xbox systems. The new disc-free Xbox Series X is slightly cheaper than the one with the disc drive. The Xbox Game Pass has become increasingly popular over the last few years thanks to granting players access to a vast, ever-growing library of titles for a small monthly fee. Microsoft itself might be aware of all this, and recent rumors suggest that it also could do away with physical discs completely for this next console. This shift to digital-only games is only happening amongst Xbox, or isn't only happening against Xbox customers, as Piscatella also reports half of 2025's PlayStation 5 console sales have been for disc-free versions like PlayStation 5 Pro at launch back in November. Many gamers prefer physical media for game preservation purposes, but it seems that the tide could be shifting towards a digital-only future in these latest numbers, and any indication, of course. It also should be pointed that Matt Piscatella claims aren't the actual sales numbers for Microsoft, so only time will tell if the rest of 2025 will play out in terms of which of the format consumers are gravitating towards. Okay, look, it's not what we're gravitating towards. If I put something in front of you, okay, and I give you the option of, here's the diskless version. I'm not giving you an option to buy the disc version. And if I am, I'm raising the price by $50 to $80. Which one are you going to buy? Most people would pick the cheaper version, right? Most people would pick the cheaper version because they're trying to save money, right? In the long run, you're like, you justify it for yourself. You're like, well, I don't really need a bookshelf to put all my games on. I'm just going to buy the diskless version. I just go all digital, whatever, right? If they don't give you an option, then you have no choice but to buy the digital version, right? And then if you do have an option, they make the other one physically more expensive, right? For physical goods, for discs, for cartridges, or for the Xbox, or for the PlayStation, right? For the drive. So if they make it more expensive, then you're going to be like, I don't know what's going on. And more people are going to, at least for Xbox, are going to either not buy a system. If I can play the same games I'm doing on my television set that I just bought, okay? Like I'm buying a Samsung TV or an LG TV, and all of a sudden I'm walking through the front of the store, and someone's like, hey, you don't need an Xbox because you can play the games on the Samsung. Oh, really? Oh, cool. You just saved me $500. There you go, right? $500 in Game Pass, that's 2 years. That's 2 years of Game Pass. 2.5 years of Game Pass. Right? Well, 2 years and 2 months. Right? So, look, I've said this in the past, that it's not that I want physical medias to go. It's just that all the companies are working together. They shift the industry how they want to go. Right? You think that PlayStation and Microsoft, or I should say, Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo are all mortal enemies and they hate each other's guts. To a point, yes, right? Because they're in business together. But at the same time, they get on phones and say, hey, when are you guys going to start getting away from physical cartridges? When are you going to stop making these discs physical? When can we start raising the prices and stuff? Well, we're doing this. Oh, we're also doing this. Oh, okay, we'll do that next time. And that's the way it works. The world goes around and around because corporations are in business, right? And they want to make as much money as possible. Well, if they don't follow suit, they're going to lose money. So they all get together and they go, what are we doing? Well, let's get rid of physical media. Great. Let's all make digital boxes. Fantastic. And then they make it look like they're doing it for us. Oh, more people are buying digital goods. More people are buying digital boxes, right? But that's not the way it works, right? They're all working together to move and manipulate the markets. And when the market bears what the market bears, if they decide they want to make it all digital and we all go, well, they got rid of physical, that's what you get. If you want physical, look at the record industry. There's still vinyls. There's still stores out there that sell vinyl records. It's still alive. Consoles will be there, okay? But it's going to be a very minute portion of it until the market decides that we don't want this anymore. We want physical stuff. And there will be a time. There'll be a time, maybe 20 years from now, maybe 30 years from now, maybe when we're gone, okay? But there'll be a moment in time where it was all digital and someone goes, you know what? We're making it physical again. And be like, oh my God, right? And they'll do something else. If it comes in the form of a disc, a cartridge, a slot, whatever the future holds, they'll try to figure a way to make more money. And if they can't make more money with the physicals because the prices are going too high, they got to ship it away from digital and put digital on a hard drive, and then you're buying the hard drive to put into your system or whatever else you're doing, right? They'll figure a way out. But the industry is all working together. These are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. What do you think of the digital sales and all the consoles that are selling more digital than physical? Let me know when I say digital, I meant diskless. Diskless are selling more than with the disk drive in it. All right. Again, let me know your comments in the section down below. Let me know with the live chat what you guys think. Are you buying your next system? Are you getting the disk drive or you're not getting the disk drive? Are you going to buy physical or you're not buying physical? Let's talk about it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. What's going on, Rowick? If your YouTube is stuttering, make sure you just refresh. Sin says, in my opinion, Rogue One was put the wars in Star Wars. I was actually a war movie. Well, in my opinion, Clone Wars, the animated series, put the war into Star Wars. There's more battles going on in Star Wars, the Clone Wars, but I get it. It's a cartoon, okay? But there's more death in that than in any movie you'll watch, including Rogue One, okay? But at the same time, the Clone Wars animated series still has the Star Wars feel. Robert Jones says, oh, put on mobile and you can make 30 disappear and just see chat. Oh, can you? That's nice. That's a nice feature. I wish more Star Wars like Andor. Jones, I totally agree. I said, if they make a completely hell, because it sits between 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5, 6, if they went into the future and told a story past 7, 8, 9, like way past, or really, really early on, okay, in the Old Republic, and you want to make it gritty like this, by all means, go ahead. But this just doesn't fit in what the current Star Wars is. It sticks out like a sore thumb. Better or for worse, it just doesn't fit. Jones says, this version of Series X is the only useful for Xbox One and 360 games. Everything else is digital if you have a disc or not. Quintar says they sure are working together behind the scenes. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Right, everyone wants to think, look, in that interview with, what's his name? The guy that was the head of Sony. No, the head of Xbox. Was it Peter? Is that his name? Watched the interview a couple weeks ago. Anyway, he said they made that. Oh no, it was with Sony, not Xbox. He said that they made that happen. They made that console war happen. That was the push. Okay. I mean, look at what's happening right now in the industry. Look at what the Sony fanboys are saying, right? Because Xbox is doing what they're doing, there's no competition. That's why Sony's doing what they're doing. Sure, but you're still buying the Sony stuff. Stop buying the Sony stuff at full price, and you'll see the price will go down. But you keep eating what Sony's giving you, so Sony's like, yeah, we're going to raise the price. Right? Where Xbox on the other side is going, yeah, we're giving you $20. Play wherever you want. Right? Or buy the game. We don't care. Right? Sony's looking, and the reason I bring up the fanboys is they're looking to be like, no, don't go. We need to talk to people, right? We want to make fun of you. Don't go. We need competition. If we have no competition, who are we talking to? Who are we going to talk shit to? Right? Three islands right now. You got Nintendo in their own little island. You got Sony in their island, and then you have Xbox in their island. They're all together. They're still together in the industry, but the competition is like, oh, Microsoft and Sony are like, I can't wait for Rockstar to come out with Grand Theft Auto 6, and Nintendo's like, hold my beer. We have an announcement to tell you. We're making $80, $90 games, and they're like, oh. Well, this is interesting. We weren't expecting Nintendo to do this. Sure. Quintar says consumers need to make a stand for change, which vote with your wallets. Do you see what's happening right now with Marvel Rivals? See, I don't know this was happening until I read a little blurb, okay, this morning, right? Because it was last night. Last night, I think Krebsy posted something about people going on strike inside Marvel Rivals. Okay. And the reason I bring this up, Quintar, is because you're saying we need to vote for your wallets, right? If you don't like something, and what's happening in Marvel Rivals right now, see, I play against the AI, so I don't find this is not happening. In the competitive scene, in Marvel Rivals, okay, there's a strike for healers. Okay. Because I guess a big streamer, a competitive person that used to play Overwatch is now playing Marvel Rivals, and he called out that the people that are healers inside of Marvel Rivals are useless pieces of garbage, and they suck at the game. And I started laughing, going, okay, so why don't you become a healer then, right? If you don't like the healers on your team, then become a healer, right? But he's making fun of these people, so they decide in the competitive scene that all people that were playing healers are on strike, and they're not healing anymore. They're not playing healers. They're on strike. And I just started laughing. I was like, well, you know what I would do? Instead of going on strike, not being healers, I would just find out what this guy's name is inside the game, and I wouldn't heal him. Nobody heal him. And then see how fast his demeanor changes, right? And the reason I brought this up is because, like you just said, right? Consumers need to make a stand for change, okay? If in this scenario, this streamer who's calling out people that are playing healers and they're all garbage, he's calling them out, right? So now the consumers, which are the healers, don't like what this corporate guy is saying, okay? And they're like, well, we're going on strike. We're not gonna partake in the game, so let's see how you like the game without us in it, right? And that, okay, that is the same kind of concept is vote with your wallet. You don't like something? Great. We won't play the game and see how you like it with no healers in the game. Okay? Because now what's going to happen is, I don't know how big how big this is going to be, but if there's nobody healing in the competitive scene, then the people that were bitching about healers would have to learn about healing, wouldn't they? Otherwise, they would have to keep their mouth shut and say, I'm sorry, keep playing your healers because we really miss you guys. Consumers aren't united enough to make the big change. We all organize, we all want, but the whales are going to whale. I heard they're striking because healers get less XP. No, they're striking because some guy said that healers are garbage and they suck. I would have to find the exact. Let me find the exact quote. Hold on a second. Let me find the exact quote for you. Krebsy posted it in the channel. Leap off the page. No, that's not it. Here it is. Let's read it together, shall we? Okay. Marvel Rivals. Strategist declares strike after streamer bashes support role. Okay, so there you go. It's not because of XP. After a pro Marvel Rival streamer bashed players who play main support role, a number of players who play strategist have gone on strike, refusing to play healer. I would just stop healing him. I would still play the game. I just wouldn't heal him. Okay. It says the strike is in response to comments of Vladan Necros, okay, a former Overwatch pro who, like many others, switched over to Marvel Rivals when it was released back in March. Now, Necros lashed out support players in Marvel's Rival, calling them idiots and morons. Right? These comments manifested in rampant discussion on X, Reddit, and TikTok, splitting the community. Those on support strategists' side say that comments of Necros demand support players or further encourage players not to play them. As a response to these comments, and those from the players who also agree that Necros, a number of support players have stopped playing and the role-playing Marvel Rivals altogether. A post currently on top of Marvel Rivals subreddit, nearly 9,000 upvotes from self-identified strategists explain why the support strike is necessary. They claim that the statements like this from big voices in the community do real damage. Okay, we just want basic respect. It's trying to be called brain dead or worthless when it's just, we're built differently, by the way. We the people that are complaining about this and me, we're completely built differently. Because first of all, I wouldn't get mad and be like, I'm not gonna play the game, I'll show you. I wouldn't heal you. Right? I wouldn't heal you. Right? Again, this is another reason why we need to talk on comms. Okay? But if this guy Necro comes out and says, you fucking idiot, you suck at your job, be like, all right, cool, I appreciate playing with you. Right? I wouldn't heal him ever again. If I'm on his team, he would never get a heal from me again. Go fuck yourself. That's what I would do. All right? I wouldn't punish everybody because of his words. I would just punish him. But that's just the way I'm built differently. Okay? So it says encourage players, support players simply to ignore voices like Necros. Yeah. And just play the game. I agree. Okay? One of the top pro players, Centel's Chastity K, sympathized for support players, claiming it's currently the hardest season to play strategists in so far. That's why I don't play competitive. I just play the game. Play against the AI, right? Have fun, play the game, move on. But I would never. He would never get healed by anybody else, and then he would leave the game. He'd be like, "These fucking people are after me, man. They're not healing me." All right, go back to Overwatch. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Altern says, don't tell me what to do. You become a healer while I still play Iron Man and suck at it. No healers. Smart. Monkeys on demand. How many people who complained about the Switch 2 price pre-ordered it? I guarantee you about like 99.9% of those people, El Nini. Sarge says, stop healing. Hashtag stop healing. Hashtag no day one purchase. Hashtag no full price for half-ass games. Jason says, Necros makes one comment and the entire rival community goes into panic. Yeah, I didn't even know about it. I just started laughing. I mean, here's my literal reaction to this when he posted it. Right, I gotta scroll way back up. It was last night. Oh, that's yesterday. This is last night. Okay. Water Bear posts. So apparently all the healers are on strike in Rivals because of some ass hat named Necro, right? And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Right? He says, yep, all social media. It shows you this. And I'm like, I'm confused, right? I'm confused. Okay. Then Krebsy posts this article. And I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. Right? And I started laughing. That is literally my actual reaction. I'm like, I don't understand. They're upset with one dude. One dude. Don't heal him. You see that in EQ? Talk shit, no heals for you. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. You want to talk shit about, hey, why don't you become a better healer? Be like, all right, dude, no heals for you. Go fuck yourself. Argus says I'm stuck playing healer for most of the time these days. I have no problem playing healing, right? I'll play Cloak and Dagger. I'll play Sue Storm. Okay, I have no problem playing these characters. They try to even incentivize you to play, do your daily missions and stuff like that. Heal 30,000, so everyone plays the healing classes and whatnot, right? When you're a gatekeeper and you're an asshole and you're like, oh, you're not healing, blah blah blah. It's like, all right, well, go fuck yourself because I'm not going to heal you. This is why there should be proximity chat, right? To identify the assholes in the group. El Nini says, I'm pretty sure that PvE mode is coming. I would love that, El Nini. I would love it. I play quick match. I don't kill you. I don't kill who talks shit. I didn't kill who's talk shit. I play for fun. It's exactly right. Right? I'm not going to stop playing a game because some one person was like, you're an idiot and a moron. I'm like, oh, okay. You called me. Like, you're in the corner in the shower. Like, some guy called me an idiot and a moron. I'll be like, all right, moving on. Moving on. Welcome to Monday. Roic says, one of my friends does that when he plays WoW and someone complains about heals. He just stops healing them. It's that simple. Hey, asshole, why don't you heal me? I'll be like, oh, okay. Heal. Oh, heal. No, why aren't you healing me? How about a please and thank you? Roic says it's more entertaining seeing them complain. Yeah. Why don't you heal me? Come on, it's fun when we play Battlefield and stuff like that. And I'm like, come on, medic, come on. This fucking guy doesn't want to heal me, right? Right? Talking shit about people that don't want to pick up people. That's your job. They don't want to, right? It's completely different when you're yelling at someone, hey, you suck at healing. Like, he's actually healing. You just, let him learn the game. And if he's in competitive, right? Why don't you be just a little nicer? He's your teammate. I never understood that, by the way. When you talk shit to your own team. Never understood that. You want to banter and jab a little bit. You know what I mean? Cool. But like shit talking your own teammate? Never understood that. Zealander says 30. New Kids Little League. Chat, see how good it goes. No pervasive chat. Medic calls out Battlefield were hilarious. Oh yeah. What's going on, Eric Jones? It's just ridiculous. Some of the stuff is ridiculous. Cool Bama guy says, yeah, I play games to relax and have fun, not to get stressed out and cussed out. Yeah, but there's a difference. Like if we're on party chat, Cool Bama, and we're just joking with each other, I'm like, come on, pick me up, Cool Bama. What the fuck, bro? You know what I mean? Like, that's different than, hey, moron. Hey, idiot. Want to pick me up? You know what I mean? There's a difference there. There's context missing, right? If we're playing a game where we're bantering back and forth, there's a complete difference of, punching each other and then literally me being pissed off at you. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's a game. Right, Quintara? The guy... Right, I like how Punisher, people that play Punisher just sit back. I play Punisher, but I don't do what they do, right? People play Punisher, they just sit back and they're like, I need a heal. Like, where are you? You're not even in the battlefield. You're like a football field behind. What are we talking about? Crowd says, I treat those people like I treat my wife. When she asks me for help with something, sure thing, hun. I'll be right there. Give me a minute. Yeah. I need heals. I see you. I'll be right there. I couldn't get to you. Sorry. I'm sorry. Robert Jones says, my favorite thing is someone wearing a mic the whole game and only complains at the end when they lose. Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah. They have a mic. You didn't know. And all of a sudden they turn it on. You'll hear. This is what you hear, Jones. You're here. Yo, bro, well, how come you didn't fucking heal me? Get better at the fucking game. You're like, oh, your mic works now? Your mic works now? You could have said, heal. Like, I'm supposed to be psychic because you're not using the in-game buttons, where you call out, I need to be healed. I'm just supposed to see everyone at all times and heal you, right? I'm supposed to, where you're charging in, okay, and you're behind enemy lines, I'm supposed to heal you when I can't see you and be like, where were you, bro? But they don't talk at all, except at the end of the match where the bar comes off, and they say they're like 0-9. They're like 0-9, and they're like, "Oh, come you didn't heal me, bro." But like, did you know that your mic was muted this entire time? Party chat's where I stay most of the times. Yeah, because usually when you invite someone into a party chat, I will not take a random invite. By the way, someone's like, "I want to talk." No, I don't need you to talk. You gotta make that rapport. You know what I mean? If we play a couple games together and I feel like we're gelling, I'll accept. But if we play one game together and you like invite me to a party, man, it's not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. I don't need to communicate. There's an up button, left button. I need heals. I got my power. Yeah, that kills me. They stay quiet the entire time and then yell at you at the very end. The best is when they don't say anything, they just rage quit. Right? They just rage quit. That's the best. Let's see what Elders 129,000 right now playing Oblivion. It's 24,000 more than at the beginning of the show. Eric Jones says, "You guys suck." Yeah. I love we were playing the other day and See, this is how you know that people have a good spirit, right? We were playing with Water Bear last week, and Water Bear was talking shit in the chat. He's like, "Are you guys bots?" And then you see someone banter back and forth, and they beat us the second round, and he's like, "Beep, bop, boop," or whatever, right? And then we beat them the third round, and then Water Bear's like, "That's what I thought," right? Like, that is playful banter, right? That is, we're all having fun. You know what I mean? We're all having fun. That's what that is. But that's not the way some people take it. Some people take it to heart, man. They're like, "Oh, this guy's making fun of me." Uh-oh. Here it is. This is all you need to see. This is all you need to see. Not the ad. EA Sports FC25 introduces a paid season pass, and some fans are upset. Well, let me tell you, they did a analytics research, and they said that 0.25% of people buy season passes. And they said, well, how do we make more engagement? They're like, these people would buy the season pass, and now season passes are in there. If you don't like season passes, don't buy the season passes. But they know that people are going to buy the season pass. And here goes the cycle. Here it is, $10. The FC25 Premium Pass, as it's called, can be purchased for FC points or UT coin. Sounds like a urinary tract disease, huh? Did you guys get your UT coins in? At the cost of 1,000 FC points, $10 US, or 500,000 worth of in-game earnable UT coins. For as what includes the players can be tradable packs of season points, boosters, along with more player items, evolution consumables, retro-themed cosmetics, and graphics below shows everything included in the paid expansion pack, and some content is exclusive to Premium Pass. Let's see what this is, chat. Oh, I can't. Can I not make this? Can I not make this bigger? I want to make it bigger. There it is in its blurry form. There it is. These are all the things you can get. Look, they're giving you 94s in there, 95s, and a 96. Oh, yeah. Battle Pass. And if it works for FC25, cha-ching, you know it's coming in for Madden. You know it's coming in for college football. Here we go, baby. You know it's going to happen. Amazing. We'll talk about that later tonight. What's FC? Soccer? Yeah, it's what FIFA was. Robert Jones says sports games should just be free to play with how they monetize. Yeah, but then they wouldn't get that $70, $80, $120 from people. You know how many millions of dollars hundreds of millions of dollars they're losing if they don't charge the $70? Rowick says, you haven't bought a Madden game since they put the card-based feature in it, and I won't until it's removed, so I'll never buy another one again. Hey, look, Duplass made the headlines. Look, Duplass made the headlines. Nintendo Switch 2 units are already dropping on eBay, and some aren't what they seem. Uh-oh. There you go. Selling on eBay. You didn't put a brick in there, did you, Duplass? You didn't put a brick in there, did you? Like hotcakes. Yeah. Hotcakes. They're selling like hotcakes. What else we got going on here? What else do we have? The sports games fund everything else? Oh, of course. Any game that's getting 10 out of 10, I don't believe. The game could be great. Expedition 33, people that give 10s, I automatically discredit them. I discredit any organization that gives a 10 out of 10 if they have one negative thing to say in their review, okay, and yet they give it a 10 out of 10. EA Sports College Football 26 up for pre-order, $70. What's this? Fortnite. More Teenage Mutant Turtles. Hold on. Let me... I bought them. I haven't bought the rest of it, though. Wait a minute. Infinite Road gameplay. Is that's the thing that was in the game before, right?
Who running the game now? Foot on the gas, can slow down. No, my team, we holding it down. We know we running it now. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Watch the game change. Yeah.
Take down new bosses. Teenage Turtles 2 Dimensions 2. Well, all right, we'll try that out. after I play Expedition 33 and Oblivion and Atomfall and South of Midnight and Blueprints and we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. Oh, there's something else at the end of this trailer. They have Krang. So there you go. Yeah, Fortnite will be there forever. We'll get there. We will try it out. I'll be honest, I'll probably try it this weekend with my son. Oh, one more thing, right? One last thing I want to talk about. Did anybody watch the Division thing yesterday? Right? Did anybody watch the Division 2 Brooklyn update yesterday? Like, was I the only one that was confused by the whole thing? I was like who the fuck is this for? Right? Is it for the hardcore people that are still playing the game? Like, it's been like a year and a half, 2 years since the last time they updated anything like this, right? And they're bringing back Division 1 portion inside Division 2. And it's like, how is this bringing me back? They didn't even show anything. They didn't show anything. Madden 26 up for pre-order. Oh, they're hitting the 3. FC Battle Pass, Madden 26, and College 26. Pre-purchase Madden 26 Deluxe Edition by July 24th to get the Season 1 Elite Player item and more. Now they're giving a timer on when to pre-order till. Now there's pre-orders. There's a pre-order for the pre-order. You have a FOMO for the pre-order. I hate where gaming's going. I hate where gaming's going. For every awesome game that comes out, there's always 10 that just so fucking stupid. I think that's the same thing, Roic. The only thing that would bring me back would be Division 3. Eclipse says, I watched the guy who got to play it early. It seemed all right. I mean, for $15, I might eventually play it. Oh, it's paid. $15? Is there still microtransactions in it? Can I still buy cosmetics for it? Then it doesn't need to be $15. Sarge says, they don't have to show you shit, bro. It's Ubisoft, bro. Believe all devs. Kraken says, good. I don't have time for all of these games anyway. They're doing me they're doing me a favor. Arga says, I wish gaming wasn't the most successful entertainment industry in existence right now. It's ruining gaming. Cool Bama says, I'm right there with you, Mike. I don't like where the gaming is going at all. Yeah, I do. For every game that comes out, like a Oblivion remaster or a Blueprint or whatever, if you're having fun with the game, the entire industry is just being. They're looking at this last 20 minutes of this, just scrolling through Twitter, is microtransactions, battle passes, little bits and pieces. That's it. It's not new games. It's new games with new. I'm sorry. It's a new release of an old game, the Maddens, the college footballs, the FCs. Okay, with added microtransactions on top of that. Right. It's the Fortnites that have been out for 8 years, and they just add Teenage Mutant Turtles. All right. That's going to do it for me for this Thursday edition of the Daily Grind. We'll be back tonight. Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Join me and Sarge tonight, and our guest this evening is the Kingert. He'll be on the show this evening, so it'll be 3 of us going over a few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. It's 8 p.m. this evening. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We might stream this weekend to make up for some of the stuff that we missed for the rest of this week that we missed. Appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for the resubs. Thank you very much for the gifted subs, or gifted memberships, I should say. We'll be back, like I said, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, and then we might be this weekend. If I don't see you this weekend or tonight, I'll see you guys next Monday when we start doing our show again, The Daily Grind. Appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your day, evening. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The Daily Grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. Once more, once more.
the chat, let's have some fun. From pixel small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty, tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming always. Controller ready, headset too, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming always. Laughs and news on winning blend, the show with you, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time, with gaming news and fun below. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixel small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new